Jihadists are not new to Africa. Remember Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden? He once operated out of the Sudan. It was here that Al-Qaeda planned an attack on Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak, the then president. In 1998, they blew up American embassies in Nairobi and Dar es Salaam. So why do we say that Africa is becoming the new jihadist battleground, the next battleground? Because it is attracting jihadists like never before. In 2010, Boko Haram declared a jihad. In the last few years, the Islamic State has moved its operations from Syria and Iraq to West and East Africa. The Al-Qaeda too has reportedly moved base again from Afghanistan back to Africa. Do you see what's happening here? The jihadist battleground has moved from West Asia to Africa. And the battle in Africa is a very complex one. Because here, jihadist groups are not just fighting each other, they're also fighting African governments and waging a war on the people of Africa. What does all of this mean for the continent? What does it mean to be the next jihadist battleground? It means terror, it means radicalization, it means more poverty. Let's start with terror. The attacks have increased. In the last few months, there have been fatal attacks in DR Congo, Somalia, Nigeria, Mali, Chad, Mozambique, Niger. There is still no information about the schoolgirls who were kidnapped by Boko Haram in 2014. And now 300 schoolboys have been taken. Being a terror battleground means suffering more terror attacks. That's number one. Number two is radicalization. Be it the Islamic State or Al-Qaeda or Boko Haram, they will all be looking to recruit young people, to radicalize the youth, to train new jihadists. While the Islamic State's graphic beheading videos are nightmarish to most of us, there are indeed sociopaths who may be attracted to such violence. Jihadist groups are also looking to recruit youth who have lost hope in their governments and administration. And this is where Africa becomes the ideal hunting ground. The continent is laden with poverty, corruption, underemployment. 1 in 3 Africans lives below the global poverty line. 1 in 3. That's 422 million people. The youth make up for 60% of Africa's unemployed population. The people of Africa are extremely vulnerable, and terror groups are looking to exploit this vulnerability. Let me give you an example. Almost 20,000 youths from Tunisia joined the Islamic State in Syria. But now the ISIS is in Africa. Imagine how many young people might reach out. Now to fallout number 3, economic suffering. Again, I have an example. How many foreign tourists do you think visit Afghanistan every year? Some 20,000. How many tourists visit Syria? Before the start of the war, that number was 9 million every year. 9 million tourists. That was in 2011. Today, Syria may take another 10 years to attract that many tourists. And this may be the future of Africa too. The terror groups will ensure that they target foreigners in particular, Europeans and Americans. Some of them have been executed, others released for ransom. Do you have any idea how much for? $120 million, according to one report. That's the kind of ransom money jihadists make, $120 million. Do you think people would want to do business in a terror-stricken continent? Africa stands to lose out on development. How will they deal with all of this? Are African governments well equipped to fight terror and everything that comes with it? The answer, I'm afraid, is no, they aren't. Africa already has too much on its plate. Poor governance, poverty, human rights issues. Terrorism may be the proverbial last straw, which invariably means the entry of foreign forces. UN peacekeeping forces are already stationed in Africa. Militarization would mean added restrictions. Afghanistan is proof that this story does not have a happy ending. Do you see where all of this is heading? It's a vicious cycle. Terror, militarization, human rights problems, radicalization, and back to terror. Africa will have to make a concerted effort to avoid this fate. Thank you for watching Gravitas on WION's YouTube channel. If you want to stay up to date with what's happening around the world, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching WION. The World is One.